Hola, hola, hola. Hi, how are you guys doing, independent pretty girlies? How are you guys doing today? Okay, I was kind of nervous to come out here because I don't know. I was out here earlier and it felt cold to me, but it's not too bad, so I guess I'll just do my video here. So, today I really want to talk about something that is on my mind quite often, and it comes up and it comes up often enough to where I feel like I need to keep talking about this. And that topic is on the topic of cheating. When men cheat, who's to blame, what that looks like, why it's happening. Okay, so it wasn't too bad outside, but the wind was a little bit cold, so I decided to come back inside. But anyways, so on the topic of cheating, the first thing that I need women to understand is that as women, you already have, and we already have enough societal pressure. We already have enough societal responsibilities. We already have enough societal blame. What I mean by societal blame is most of anything that goes wrong in the world, women are blamed. You tell me where in any circumstances or in any circumstance men have taken accountability or men have been giving the responsibility or even the blame, if you want to say it in that way. Very, very seldom, if never, does that happen. Okay. And I'm not going to get political on my channel, but I'll just use this as an example. Now we're at the point where women have literally lost the rights to their own body. You can't decide whether or not you want to have a child, right? If something happens, you can't decide whether or not you want to keep or not keep the baby. Men have taken it upon themselves, right, to control that for you. So that way you've lost control of that as well. Okay. And that's just one example, right? It's happening all around us. Trump was president. Can you imagine? And over half the United States, they were supporting him, backing him, despite all of the negative and atrocious things he would say about women, about different races, about different things. Will you tell me what would happen if the role were reversed? If that were a woman up there saying those things, what do you think they would say about that woman? So women were starting to wake up more and more, which is good. But more and more women need to start waking up. There's still too many women that are refusing to wake up because the truth is so painful to them, right? So the truth is, this is a patriarchy, and it's mostly built around trying to preserve the male ego. And the thing about the male ego is it doesn't go past that, right? It's pretty there's no depth in a male, right? And so women need to start understanding that when they fight against each other, okay, they're basically just being used and controlled, okay, and they lose as well. If you're a woman and your man or your boyfriend or whatever you want to call him cheats on you, and your response is to then find the woman that he cheated with and start a fight with her, you're stupid. Okay, you're an idiot. Okay? If you're a woman and you get cheated on, or you think that when another woman gets cheated on, that it's 50-50 blame. Oh, it's the woman's fault and it's his fault. You're an idiot. You're stupid, right? It's not that I'm trying to be mean, but it is a silly way of thinking. And when you do that, you make it worse for all women, not just yourself. Because now you're playing into the woman against women. So you're making men the prize when women should be the prize. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're fighting other women for a man. There's like a million of them. And you want to fight your fellow women for that? For a man that cheated on you, not to mention. A man that cheated on another one of your fellow women, not to mention. You want to fight another woman for that. That's what you want to. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then you'll say, oh, it's 50-50 blame. It's not 50-50 blame. Are you dumb? This is why these men think that it's okay to continue to repeat this behavior. The other woman is not committed to you, ma'am. They don't know you. They share no blame. I need you to understand and listen to what I'm saying. 100% of the blame goes to your man. That is where you should be. That's who you should be handling. If you don't want to give him any of the blame because you're delusional, okay, he's just going to go right on and cheat with the next one. If it wasn't her, it would have been someone else. If it's not going to be that someone else, it's going to be someone else besides that other person. So what makes you think, this 50-50, oh, the woman is to blame too? That, who started that? Men started that. And then women, because they don't have a brain, they don't use their brain, they don't process through information, they're always having to work, they're always having to take care of kids, they're always having to take care of the household, they're always having to worry about the emotions within the relationship. All of these things, they're bugged down with it. They don't have any time to actually think. You are fighting another woman for a man that cheated on you. You are blaming another woman when you're the man that your man is the one that made commitments with you. You see how stupid that is? It's retarded. And this is something I'm so passionate about because women need to stop doing this. When a man catches you cheating, a lot of those men will even befriend the man that you cheated with. And you know what they'll do? They'll gang up and start calling you names. That's what most of them do. They'll gang up, they'll start calling you names, they'll start looking down on you, they'll start working on making sure that they put down your self-esteem. Okay? So women, you're playing right into the hands of these low-class men that don't even, that are fairly shallow and empty as a being. Okay? If your man cheats on you, give him 100% of the blame because he's the one that cheated. There's no half and half. Half of what? Don't be mad at the other woman. Be friends with the other woman. Be like, look, girl, if you want him, you can have him. Women are supposed to be creating communities around each other. That's how we keep each other safe, because men by nature are very dangerous. Like literally, physically, mentally dangerous specimens, especially for women. Okay? They're naturally very aggressive. They're naturally very pushy, unempathetic, right? They have, they don't feel emotion, especially not in the same way as women do. So it's a very dangerous world for women because of men, So, and also, men have no problem lying, and there's little to no scenario when a man won't lie to you so they can use you. So you have to remember they always want something. I heard a story. I was on YouTube and I watched a video, and it was of this girl, and she was married and she was telling her divorce story. And in her divorce story, she was kind of walking through the timeline of how the man started to behave 1 year into the marriage, how he started to not talk to her, distance himself from her, how she was finding comments because they're both YouTube um, personalities. She started finding comments from a particular girl that he would chat with, right? And so exhibiting all of these behaviors. And she, on her end, kept trying to make it work, suggested that they go to counseling. She would ask him to spend time with her, and he would just kind of refuse all of these things, right? Well, most women that are in a similar type of situation are thinking, oh, I just want to make it work. But in reality, and I'm telling you this, I see this, I have so many clients, it breaks my heart, especially when I deal with the female clients. Because I'll say this, the men and males are just being who they are. So you can't really even blame them for being this way because this is just who they are. Women are the ones that need to learn to accept who they are. Don't put your fantasies on them. Don't put your, oh my God, like, oh, he really loves it. He doesn't love you. He can't love. Men can't love. Okay. What is love? Even that is not what you think it is, right? So we'll get into that in a different video as far as what is love, because a lot of women don't really know what love is, which is one of the biggest issues. Okay. But women need to work on accepting what men truly are. I know that the patriarchy tells you that men are supposed to be leaders, men are supposed to be protectors. No, the reality says different. That's why women get out here and when they start dating and finding that there's a dissonance between what they've been told and what they believe, right, their whole life and reality, they get confused. That's where the confusion comes in. I'm confused. And then they start blaming themselves. When in reality, it's not your fault. It's because you've been lied to this whole time. And this is the truth. And you're just having a hard time accepting the truth. Okay. So anyway, so back to that story, as far as the YouTube video, most regular women would think, oh, she's trying to make it work. The guy just, is being a douche and blah, 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 which is true. He's just being a douche. She should just leave. So all of those things are true. But what most women what most women fail to see is the severity of the situation that she's in. The whole time when I was listening to that, I was getting very, very nervous for her. I was getting legitimately scared for her because I was like, okay, these behaviors that he's exhibiting tells me that she's in danger. Because men are dangerous, especially in situations for some reason they're trying to get out of, because men aren't doing these things not knowing what they're doing. If they're doing those things to you and mistreating you, they're doing it on purpose. And usually it's because they want you to leave. They don't value you. They don't appreciate you. They don't want you there, but they're too cowardly to just tell you themselves. That's literally usually the reason is. Okay. So because they're too cowardly to just tell you themselves, they'd much rather you do the dirty work and you be the one to cut it off, especially because they know that will make you feel worse when you have to cut it off, and that will feed directly into their ego. Okay. So versus a regular woman that will sit there and think, oh, situation's not a good situation, it just sucks. I'm sitting there thinking this woman is literally in danger. He's exhibiting behaviors of getting increasingly more and more malicious, right? So every time that she would walk us through a phase, it would start with, "Oh, we kind of stopped talking as much. Oh, I started finding messages from this random girl. Oh, he asked me to go to my parents' house because he couldn't deal with, so increasingly more and more malicious." So my initial response isn't, "Oh, well, they had issues, she should just leave." My initial response is, she's in danger. It's getting worse and worse at every step. And the way men deal and the way they get, especially when it gets worse and worse, is they don't get more and more empathetic. They result to violence, aggression. They get violent, they get aggressive. That's what ends up happening when you're dealing with a male species, right? And another main difference is, even if a woman gets aggressive or violent, well, she's a woman, so by nature, she's not as strong as the male, at least not physically. Right. So in this story, I'm getting more and more nervous for her safety. And I know most women, instead of thinking, "Holy crap, this is getting worse," men tend to be very, very violent, very aggressive, right? Not very empathetic. They're mostly about self-preservation. Most women will think, maybe I can try to fix it. No, you can't try to fix it. You're in danger. So what ended up happening with this particular girl is, she got to a place in the story where she said, she just got tired of it, and she told him, "Hey, we just need to talk. We need to talk about this and figure it out." And he walked into the garage, she walked into the garage with him, and refused to, let it go. She sat on the floor and she was like, "You have to talk to me." And out of nowhere, for her, out of nowhere, he freaks out, grabs a hammer, and throws it at her. Literally throws a hammer at her. So he threw a hammer at her head. And she said that hammer almost hit her right in the face. It barely, it kind of grazed her, barely missed her. But until he threw that hammer, she wasn't getting that message that she was in danger. She was literally in physical danger. It's not a game anymore. It's not "Oh my God, I gotta fix my marriage, blah, blah, blah." You're literally in danger. He will get physical with you because it's in their nature. They are aggressors. Okay, so he threw the hammer at her, and that's when she got the message and left. Can you imagine? You could literally died because you wanted to be in a relationship with a man that was cheating on you, and you just had to stay, right? You just got to stay. What will people say? So women, stop fighting against each other for these men. There is an abundance of them. Stop blaming each other for their actions. If he cheats, he's 100% at fault. There's no 50-50. So it makes me so mad. There's no 50-50. It's not like, "Oh, it's half her fault. You're blaming a stranger that doesn't even know you." Ma'am, get it together. She doesn't even know you. Okay? The problem is him. Okay? So give him 100% of the blame because it's his fault. Don't be worried about what the other woman is doing, how she's living her life. Who cares? You don't even know her. Don't let them put you against women. Don't let them continue to push women against women because they aren't useful, so they have to distract us from the fact. All right. So anyways, that's it for today. I'll call it a wrap there. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. and I'll talk to you guys later.